Hello chess friends and welcome to another game analysis. We are in the round 10 of the Grand Chess Tour in Croatia, and this is the game between Grandmasters Wesley and the world champion Magnus Carlsen. Wesley opened the game with a d4, Magnus played knight to f6, we have c4, e6, knight c3, and then bishop to b4, after that queen c2, and then d5, so c capture on d5, and then queen capture on d5. This is the Nimzo Indian defense, and the main line goes with the move e3. Then Magnus plays c5, wants to attack the center, so bishop to d2. Now queen is under attack because this knight can be moved. That will not open the check, so bishop capture on c4, and then bishop capture c4, c capture on d4, and then bishop capture on d4. And we can recognize that this both of them are playing with a symmetric pawn structure. And after the last move that Wesley played, he opened the c file and then queen tried to capture the bishop here. So Magnus developed the knight on the square c6, and then we have moved back with the bishop on the c3, and it is time for a castle. So Magnus create a castle on the king side, and then knight to f3, rook to d8, and bishop to e2. It is time to develop the bishop on e2, and then he opens the way for a castle on the king side. So queen e4, offer queens for trade, and then rook to c1, queen capture queen on c2, rook recapture on c2, and that is the whole line in the opening theory. But here Magnus played bishop to d7, and we have knight to e5, offer knights for trade, so knight capture on e5, bishop recapture on e5, and it looks like they both want to trade a lot of pieces and play the endgame. So here rook ac8 was played, rook capture on c8, and then rook capture on c8. A lot of tradings are on the board, but white is playing with the two bishops, so that can be dangerous. Let's see what happened in the rest of the game. White makes the castle on the king side, and then we have a move knight to d5. After that, rook goes to d1, and then Magnus play f6, attacks the bishop, so bishop move back on the d4. After that, bishop a4 attacks the rook on the d1, and Wesley pushed the pawn on the b3, which attacks the bishop, so bishop needs to go back, and he chooses the square e8 for his bishop. After that, it is white to move, and Wesley can capture the pawn on a7, or he can try something with the other bishops. Let's see the line. If he did not capture on a7, but let's see, here's the one very interesting forced line. So if he capture on a7, then knight can go on a c3, attacks the rook, and bishop on e2. So here Wesley can move the bishop on the square c4. He tried to capture on e4, e6, and that will give a check, and attacks the rook on c8. So if the rook captures on c4, with the idea if white recaptured, then he will capture the rook, but white will not do that because this position is piece up for black. So he will move the rook down on d8, and then we have forced line. Rook goes back to c7, so rook will capture on e8, that is a check, king f7, and then rook to a8, and knight capture on a2. Material balance is on the board, and it is obviously draw position. So after bishop e8, white did not capture the pawn on a7, so he played move bishop to c4, and after that we have b5, which attacks the bishop, and bishop need to make decision, moving the bishop back or capture the knight. And here Wesley decided to capture the knight because that will create an isolated pawn on the square d5, and maybe white can use that advantage. So let's see, white captured the pawn on a7, then we have rook to a8, attacks the bishop, and also tried to capture on a2. After that, bishop moves back on c5, so rook captured pawn on a2, and then Wesley opened his king and pushed the pawn on h4. So he chose to push h pawn because that will open the dark square here, so king can escape on the dark square, and Magnus is playing with the light colored bishop on the square e8. So bishop to f7 was played, and then we have e4, sacrificing the pawn, but the black cannot capture that because if he captures, then rook goes down to e8, that is a check to king, and only move that the black can play is to give a bishop completely for free. So that is a very good line. And after e4, rook goes back on a8. So we have e captured d5, and this looks like a pawn up position for white. But rook to d8 attacks the pawn on d5, and then he cannot save the pawn. If he push the pawn on d6, that will open the diagonal, and the pawn on b3 is hanging. So he didn't play that. He pushed the pawn on b4, and then rook captured d5, rook captured d5, and bishop recapture on a d5. And as you can see, here is the position with opposite colored bishops. Bishop on a d5 is a light color, and the bishop on a c5 is a dark colored. So in 99% of the games that will finish with the draw, but they play few more moves. Wesley pushed the pawn on f3, we have h5. After that, bishop goes to d4, and then bishop c6, bishop c3, bishop to d5. They repeated the moves 3 times, and they agree for a draw. Generally, they did not play very aggressive in this game. They are both looking for a draw, as we can see, because they make a lot of tradings. So we will see. Tomorrow is the last round of that tournament. Magnus is the leader on the board, and we will see what will happen in the last round. I hope that video which we now watched is very useful for you, and if it is instructive, so hit the button subscribe, and we will continue our analysis in the next video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next game analysis. Bye bye.